C minus? Wait, but I got this all right. It's just one page.
Imagine getting 80% of your test material correct, but 20% brings you down a lot. You studied late, you worked hard, you knew the material, but you just failed one section. However, your teacher's making you retake the whole entire test despite only flunking one section. So the question is, should you retake the whole test or just the part of it that you failed? Current policies at Whitnall High School force students to retake whole entire tests instead of just retaking a little portion of a test that they might have failed. This approach is very inefficient. It's almost like rereading an entire book because you didn't understand one chapter.
According to the National Library of Medicine, research on mastery-based learning shows that targeting specific areas of weakness leads to deeper understanding. Letting students retake only what they struggled with helps them grow without testing what they've already mastered.
This is why we believe that students should be able to retake only a portion of a test rather than a whole entire test. We're not asking for shortcuts to get the easy way out. We're simply asking for some fairness, for the chance to fix simple mistakes without having to start over completely. We're asking for this right now.
Allowing partial retakes is the best way a student can learn from their mistakes. Students will focus on areas that need improvement. This method promotes deeper understanding and efficient learning opposed to preparing for a whole entire retake of a whole unit.
Approximately 30% to 50% of students experience test anxiety, which can hinder their performance. Partial retakes can reduce this anxiety and pressure, as the student will only need to prepare for what they don't know when they need to. They wouldn't have to prepare for the whole entire test, only the part that they weren't sure of when taking the test. Retakes can lead to improved understanding and retention of material, especially when focused on areas of weakness. So, to conclude that, we interviewed some students who also agreed that they should be able to retake just a part of the test instead of the whole entire test.
Have you ever gotten a test grade back and you got most of it right, but just a portion of the test was wrong?
Yeah.
And it brought the whole grade down?
Yeah.
Okay, do you think that at Whitnall High School, students should be allowed to retake just the part they failed, or should they have to take the whole test?
I think it definitely should be available because, especially in math, there's like, you get taught a different section of the module in 1 week in that. So obviously not being taught all at the same time. So you should be able to take it separately since you were taught that certain things separately.
And do you think this would be beneficial to you?
I definitely think it would be. Well, not anymore because I'm graduating, but to others it will
Have
be.
you ever gotten a test grade back and the grade was affected by not knowing the whole entire test, but just a portion of it?
Yeah.
Do you think that Whitnall High School should offer to students partial retakes so that you don't have to retake the whole thing, but just the part that you flunked on?
I know Miss Sparks does that for pre-calc. So the test's always in 2 parts, and then if you do bad on the first part, let's say if you like a C or worse, when you do the next test, because there's little quizzes, you can either redo that part to replace your grade, or if you got like an A or whatever on that little mini unit, then you can totally skip that part. So I think the way she does that is really good. I wish more teachers would do it, because if you've already done well on one part of a test, and then you forget it because you haven't been studying for it later, it just kind of ruins everything.
So do you think it would be beneficial to students at Whitnall High School?
Yeah.
While students approve of partial retakes, some teachers worry. Will this create more work for them? Will students take advantage of it? These concerns are real, so that's why we interviewed a teacher at Whitnall High School. So what are your opinions on students being able to retake a portion of a test opposed to retaking the whole entire test?
To me, it actually makes a lot of sense. I really like that idea. However, I don't think that the tests that we currently give are designed in such a way where it makes sense to actually do. It makes more sense if the test is actually broken down into very specific learning targets. So when a test is designed with specific learning targets in mind, then it makes more sense for students to only retake the specific chunks.
Right.
A solution to the problem we are currently facing at Whitnall High School would be digital sectioned grading. With digital sectioned grading, the teacher can grade each section individually, view performance data for each section, and allow a student to retake only the section that they struggled with. Google Forms, AutoGrade, Elastic, Canvas, or Schoology quizzes, including Kahoot, are just a few websites that could be used for digital grading.
These voices are real, and they're not asking for an easy way out, just a more beneficial one. In my personal experience, I once took a math test and I had to retake the entire thing instead of just a quarter of it that I had gotten wrong. This caused me more stress and no improvement in my grade at all.
So this is why students should not be required to retake full tests. It adds anxiety, frustration, and often does not help the student improve. So by adopting partial retakes, we will see that learning is a process and it can be adapted to each student. So starting now, let's focus on progress, not perfection within Whitnall High School.